Hi everyone, Jim Labuda here. Welcome to another edition of Stretching Sundays. One of the issues I see with a lot of my golf students today is what we call a sway or a slide, which is really the inability of our hips to rotate. Our right hip go backwards in the downswing or in the backswing, and then our left hip to rotate out of the way in the downswing. What I see a lot of times is people sway or they slide and they move side to side instead of their hips rotating. One of the things that could cause this is our hip flexors are not flexible, or we don't have enough mobility in our hip flexors to be able to rotate in the swing properly. So I'm going to show you today a stretch that'll help you improve the flexibility and mobility in your hip flexors. What we're going to do is we're going to get down on the ground like we did last week, lay on our backs, and what we're going to do is I'm going to stretch my left hip flexor out today to start off with. I'm going to take my left ankle, put it up over my right knee. What we want to do is we want to make sure that our shin is parallel to the ground. So if I show you a view from here, this is what we want our shin to look like. We don't want it up and we don't want it too far down. We want our shin parallel to the ground. So my shin's parallel to the ground. I'm going to take my left hand, and reach through the hole of my legs, grab either my hamstring, or if we can, I'm going to reach all the way through to my right knee, interlock my fingers, and then I'm going to slowly pull my right knee towards my chest. What this is going to do is I'm feeling a stretch back in my left hip and my left glute muscles that's going to help stretch out that hip flexor. Once we do this side, we then take our right ankle, put it on our left knee, and do the same thing on the other side. We're going to hold these stretches for 5 to 7 breaths. Now, this is something that I also mentioned last week, holding stretches for 5 to 7 breaths, but I didn't really expand or talk about why we do that. We want to make sure that our breathing, we're continuing to breathe in through our nose and then out through our mouths while we're exercising and stretching. It's very important to continue doing that. Most times if people are told to hold a stretch for 10 seconds, what they do is they just start counting to 10 and they hold their breath and they tense up for that 10 seconds. So that's why we want to make sure we're still continuing to monitor our breathing and be very conscious of our breathing while we're exercising. In through our nose, out through our mouths. You hold these stretches for 5 to 7 breaths. It'll come out to about 8 to 10 seconds. Make sure you stretch the right side, then the left side. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. If not, we'll see you next week on Stretching Sundays.